All right. Test 1, 2.
Welcome!
All right.
Sorry.
I believe we should be live with the audio. Good evening, everybody. We mentioned in the announcements, if you didn't see, but we've got a guest with us tonight. So, Selenar, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Solinar, apparently you're a snow leopard.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
That's what I hear. And I am going to probably get into some comic page stuff later, but since he's here and there's all this kerfluffle about his character, I thought, I'll go ahead and draw his character live on stream. That might be fun.
Yes, apparently Solinar has been having a hard time.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't have to pretend like, what's going on? I don't even know that much. All I know is people were saying, oh yeah, this guy's getting all kinds of death threats because he took one of his commissions, and you know how Grok can make things move now, and it's fun. Like, I guess he did that with one of his commissions that he got, and then half of Furrydom was like, this man needs to be dead. And that's about where I'm at. That's all I know.
It would be really funny if they then took your image into Grok and then made you die, but they were using AI to prove a point.
I mean, as long as it was funny, right?
Probably what furries would do without seeing the irony.
Actually, just for an example.
Okay.
Just for an example, this is the ref sheet that I'm going to be using to do a sketch of his character, but I think he pulled it into Grok earlier to make it animate, and I pulled that into the stream so I can show you guys. Check it out. Oh, if I can find where the little...
Oh, look at Dave. He's showing videos.
See, like, seriously, all you do is you put like one image into Grok, and it does all this animation just automatically. Now, granted, it doesn't give you a lot of fine-tuned control, but as an animator, it makes me excited that if things progress like this, eventually there's going to be tools where maybe if I give it an A keyframe and a B keyframe, and I can clarify how I want the in-betweens done. You know, it's come a long way since Will Smith eating spaghetti. It's developing really cool. It's fun to play with. But Selenar, you played around with and you got burned. So I guess tell us your story, because that's why we have you here to talk with you, not to hear me blather on.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. So back in June, I commissioned an artist named Moth Dusky, and I really liked her style. And so when she had an opening, of course I jumped on it, and so basically from June 2nd was the official commission date. I sent her, my ref sheet, sent her like, hey, I would like my character to be in this pose. Can you make it happen? We had a few exchanges, and she's like, yep, okay. So then it was just a waiting game, right? She has a very, detailed Trello board, so I would follow that. And of course, always be disappointed when there's no progress on my commission. So fast forward to September, early September, I think the 7th, she sends me like a very cropped image of what is to be the final image, final piece of art. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, yeah, I'll have it done soon. And then, so later on that day, she sent me the final image, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm like, this is fantastic. I love it, right? How when you see these pieces of art or you see something creative and it's like really moving, right? That was the image to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, right? I love the hair. I love the physique. I love just the background. I just loved everything about it.
Oh.
And so she, a couple days later, she's like, oh, I'm doing, emergency commissions. And so I grabbed another slot, right? I'm like, I love what you did, here, I want to grab another slot. And, I kind of gave her the pose, and she's like, yeah, cool, I can do that. So a couple, I guess 3 weeks later, I'm on X all the time, and I see these ads from, that Grok is basically feeding, and saying, hey, try Grok Imagine, look at what it can do. And I'm like, and so on one time when these ads came through, I'm like, hey, why don't I just try it? And so I clicked, make video with Grok. And then so it's like, hey, what, upload an image. And I'm like, so the first image, like I go to my, my furry folder, of course. And the first image is like, oh, hey, there's the image that Moth Dusky did for me. And so, I put it in there, and literally, it spits it out like right away. I was blown away by the result. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And so I downloaded it, of course, and I mean, yeah, there's some inconsistencies, there's some weird lighting and stuff, but I'm like, for a first time and literally no prompt, right? Because a lot of the stuff, like text to image, you can give it prompts and stuff. I didn't give any prompt at all. I just uploaded it, and boom, there was a result. And so I posted it online. This was on the 10th, so a week ago. So how current are we, right? I posted on the 10th in the morning. I upload this image and I'm like, hey, I took this original art from Moth Dusky. I put it in Grok, no prompt, and this is what I got. I'm floored by this. I really like the result.
Yeah.
So, I go offline. I mean, I close out X. I'm working, slaving away for the man. 4 hours later, I get back online, and actually a buddy called me at like noon, and he's like, hey, Selenar, have you see what's going on? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh my God, there's this huge Twitter shitstorm, right? I'm sorry if I don't know if I can say that or not.
You can swear, it's fine.
Yeah, okay, cool. So
accurate.
He's like, there's this huge Twitter shitstorm. You should check it out. It's about that animation you posted. I'm like, oh my God, no. And he's like, yes, the artist is pissed. There's like an army of people coming after you. So I'm like, okay. So I jump online, and sure enough, I had like 50 or more DMs, right? Some from the artist, just a bunch of random people. And they're like, you AI bro, blah, blah, blah. You're destroying the world. And that making that 6-second animation, that killed 8 people. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And so I find the one that the artist sent me. Yeah. So I find the DMs that the artist sent me, and literally it's like 4 or 5 in a row, like proceeding to get more and more frantic.
Oh.
And she's like, you need to delete this. You need to take this down.
Proceeding to get more and more frantic.
Yeah, every 30 minutes, right? She's like, you got to take this down. Take this down. I demand you take this down. And then she's issuing me threats like, I'm going to give you artist bewares. I'm going to put you on block list. I'm going to DMCA you. And I'm like, and that's why I messaged her right away. And you see the 3 dots when they're responding. And I'm like, I just got online. I've been working. Let me catch up. And she's like, I need you to address this. And I said, let me catch up. And so 30 minutes later, I quickly, rustle through a bunch of messages and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea what's going on. But I'm happy to take this thing down. Basically she's like, you got to take that down. And I'm like, I'm happy to take this down. But literally there are like 50 people supporting you, hating on me. You got to take down your call out posts, because she had made like a couple different call out posts to be like, hey, AI bro, using my copyrighted art, and turning it into slop AI, right?
Yeah.
And so she, and I'm like, look, I'm happy to take it down, but you got to take down your call out post. She's like, I'm not taking down my posts. Take down yours. And I'm like, I can't do that. I said, I'm fine negotiating with this, but we both have to agree. And she blocks me. And so I'm like, oh, great. How can I even get in touch with her, right? And so in the meantime, I think that passed. There were probably 8 death threats in that first batch of 50.
So you're getting literal, like, is this just people that are sort of being like, oh, you deserve to have a cement truck fall on you from Pluto, or is it people that are are they like serious death threats where they're like, I will be in your closet on this date with a pitchfork, count on it? Who's that? Like, I'm just curious,
well,
like, are most of them just sort of like, internet speak, or do you think they're more serious than that?
So, I mean, I didn't put much credence into it, right? Because I mean, it is crazy internet stuff. But I mean, who knows, right? I mean, Charlie Kirk was killed, and all he did was have conversations with people, right? And so, I didn't put much stock into it, but they kept coming over the next couple days, and it was like, hang from a tree, I'm gonna blow up your car or whatever. I'm gonna find out where you live. And it was like, okay, whatever, right?
Some of that is starting to sound a little less like, oh, you deserve, I hope a giant squid gets, some of it's less fun. Some of that sounds a little more.
Oh, none of them were fun. None of them.
Can I ask, did you report any of these?
Yes, I reported.
Did.
I reported them all. Yep.
Okay.
And as far as I know, many of them were. Well, I think at last count there were about 15 that were ultimately banned by.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks.
Better than I can do over there.
But I was actually surprised when when I was reporting messages, and some of them X came back and was like, "Oh, we have found this not to be a violation of our policy," and I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
so here's an
Like
image
which
that's sending me a
ones?
gun
What
to
did
the
those
head,
say?
right?"
When
Oh,
it
I don't.
came back and said that.
Yeah, I need
I
to
didn't
know
keep-
what kind
I
of
didn't
death
keep track,
threats.
yeah.
What kind of death threats can I successfully make? So this is good information for me to have.
Yeah.
How can I threaten people on Twitter without getting banned?
That's right.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
Literally, one person sent me a picture, with a gun to someone's head, and I'm like, "Oh, wow, okay, this is not graphic," but I think that person got banned.
Okay. Justice is served.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope this is like a stock photo. I hope they're not like, time to pull out the hostage. I have to send a message again.
For sure.
Someone on the internet needs to know that I don't like when they play with toys.
Someone
have
made me mad on the internet, Randy. Time to come out.
Now, I have to ask, were you able to grab screenshots of the DMs and also screenshots of these threats and screenshots of her post?
So I did anything that Moth Dusky was attached to. I did get,
Okay,
but
good.
just the random threats and stuff. It was
Too
all
many
coming
to
in
probably
so
keep up
fast.
with,
And,
yeah.
and I mean, just all the crazy stuff that was going through my mind, like WTF. I just didn't even think of that. Right? I'm just like report block, report block, report block, and so I just didn't even think of that. But
Dave, why are you giving him pants?
Because he's afraid.
He has
There's-
pants.
He doesn't always have pants, but the ref sheet.
Okay,
I
well, you
figure-
need to ask for. Ants need permission,
did
sir.
now.
Ask,
It's
ask if
okay.
he has pants. Okay.
you can take artistic liberty.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
He's looking over his shoulder like he's like, what is that? Is that the sound of a mob coming over the hill? Uh-oh.
Is that supposed to be me?
Better put pants
He's looking
on.
at the
They're coming.
reference.
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking just for the chat,
Okay.
if you guys want something to do, maybe if I can get this sketch done decently well during stream, if you guys wanted, you could drop it into Grok and see what Grok does with it. And if anyone in the chat is like, oh, make him doing a backflip or make him eating a cheeseburger, you guys could see if there's any cool ideas that strike your fancy. And maybe use that. For
Uh-oh,
fun.
Dave.
Okay, we're getting a lot of sound effects, Hazelney.
They're gonna
You're
come.
enjoying
They're
it
gonna
today.
come take your Twitter down.
Why are they gonna take my Twitter down?
I don't. You of all people should know that people DMCA claim stuff they don't even own sometimes.
I mean, I'm kind of busy drawing in stream, so I'm not planning on using Grok AI myself. But how would I even would I have to DMCA claim my own drawing to do that? I don't.
You don't have to.
I don't know. I'm just not afraid. I'm gonna draw stuff, and if people freak out,
No one's sending you a picture with a gun to someone's head or anything like that. You know.
No,
not-
you should
not
have
yet.
put that in AI and given it back to him. Told him because he put it on Twitter now. Grok and all that can scrape his picture for AI because that's actually how.
Yeah, that's
Twitter thing
something I
goes.
actually wanted to get into a little bit. Was that the Twitter TOS, and you can quote unquote opt out of this, right? But like it opts you back in every time there's a Twitter update, in case people didn't notice this.
Oh, great.
But like the Twitter TOS clearly states like, yeah, anything you post here, you give us permission to like train for machine learning. That includes like art, text, anything you like, anything you retweet, like anything at all that you do with Twitter can be used for their machine learning stuff. And, again, you can try and opt out of that if you really think that's going to be possible, but it kind of isn't. But, the TOS thing that he like hands to people, which apparently was updated sometime this year, it says like, don't use my stuff for this, but he's uploading shit to Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as
Okay.
I know, So and the artist uploaded the finished image first, right? So she uploaded like September 8th or so, and of course, I reposted it and stuff after that. So that art, in theory, could have been used to train some aspect of Grok, right?
Yeah, completely. That's what that means.
There's permission
everybody.
literally to do that from the artist by using Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I will say, like, it doesn't mean the artist necessarily likes that idea. They might not have even known Twitter TOS. So I being an artist, I can kind of sympathize.
Ironic.
I can sympathize a little with an artist
Yeah.
being like, hey, that's really not something that I wanted to be done with that art, and I'm really uncomfortable with it. Could you please not do that? Like, I can understand an artist coming from that place, I'm not
Now-
typically, if I give someone art, I'm like, yeah, wild out, have fun. But I can understand artists being like, Like, I prefer that not to be done. But you know,
Well, there were a lot of artists that came out on Twitter and were like, "Look, I don't like AI. I don't want my stuff used to train for AI. But if you pay me $200 to draw a picture for you, that's your picture now. You can
That's
use it
nice.
for whatever you want."
That's our policy too. Just it's
And there were
yours now. You
also-
can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and there were also a lot of people that came out and said, like, yeah, if some stupid artist hands me some bullshit TOS that says I don't own the thing I bought, then I'm not buying it. Suck shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
All right.
It is a little bit weird because I'll get back to my story, right, if you don't
Yeah.
mind. So
No.
Saturday, right? So she blocked me Friday. So Saturday, she messages me, she unblocks me, sends me DMs, and says, "I'm going to issue. You need to take that down, or I'm going to issue a DMCA takedown notice against you for this is my art." And my perspective has always been, look, I paid you for the art, as you guys mentioned. I bought a finished product, right? You delivered the finished product. We were both happy with it. You can't tell me what I can do with the finished product. It's not like I go buy a pair of Nike running shoes and then they tell me, you can't use these shoes to run a marathon. Not that I'm going to run a marathon anyway, but right, you can't use these shoes to go walk in this city, or what have you. It's like, that doesn't make any sense, right? I bought the product. I should be able to use the product however I want. And so I responded to her and I said, look, we can still we can still talk about this. And then she's like, my lawyer friends have told me that
Oh
to issue
boy.
a DMCA. Otherwise,
Well, that's
My lawyer
bullshit.
friends.
yeah,
This-
right. The quote
that's-
friends, right? And then she blocked me again, and so I couldn't even respond. So sure enough, that night she must have filed, because sometime I think either later that night or early Sunday morning, I got an email from X, and they're like, somebody has issued a takedown notice, and as part of their process, it sends me a copy of the takedown notice too. So I have all of her information, right? I mean, I send out, I see exactly what she wrote. She identified 2 URLs, right? The original one that I posted and then a repost that I made to be taken down. And so I had her email, right? And so, I could be in touch with her. But since that time, of course, I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to do, right?
Yeah.
And so I did a ton of research into DMCA, what the process is. So then I have to go file what is called a counter notice, basically, claiming that this is false, right? I defend my posts. I am requesting X to reinstate them for these reasons, right? You have to give rationale, and and then share your, you dox yourself, basically. Agree to some, I agree to go to court in such and such county if they file suit, et cetera, et cetera. And so from that, right, so I did that Sunday, and that basically starts the clock. So there's a 10 to 14 day period where X will wait while now Moth Dusky, the ball's back in her court. She has to, in order for the post to stay removed, she has to show them that she is suing me in federal court. Federal
It's
court
very,
where
very
I live.
educational. Yep.
Yep. And so she needs to get a lawyer to file for her. And this is not small claims court, right? So she can't just go down to the
No.
courthouse. So it's expensive. And then she has to file. So I live in California. She would have to come to California and litigate the case out here. So, and she's not in California. So there's some travel
Right.
involved, right? And so,
No, wait. I want to ask this. Why would she have to come to California? Why wouldn't it work in wherever she's at?
because according to DMCA, you have to file in the county where the defendant is located.
Okay.
She-
Well,
she-
that's
she would be the
interesting because that's not what happened in Davis Liz's case. I don't think when somebody filed a DMCA against them.
No, the DMCA wasn't Twitter though. Ours was YouTube and Picardo.
Well, mostly
Yeah, but
Patreon.
no,
they
no,
put
the-
a ton
yeah,
of
it was mostly
DMCA.
Patreon.
They were trying to target our revenue.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
think.
Yes, it was Patreon, not Picardo. They're all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that was like, technically
it's-
if they were trying to do that, but no case ever happened, I think, because of the DMCA's.
Our
Yeah,
case was a
it might be a X specific thing too. I don't know.
yeah. Our case was a little
could
different
be.
from yours too, because this is the artist is going after you, saying, "Hey, I don't want you to post the art you commissioned. And with me, I was the artist, and the customer was coming after me, being like, "Hey, I don't want you to post the art that you made." So it's, but either way,
Yeah,
it's like someone that
ours
just
was
wants
kind of
to.
reversed.
Yeah, either way, it's like someone that wants to take stuff down and be like, "No, no one can see this." And it's like, well, yes, they can.
Right.
Something to
Yeah.
consider here that is definitely on your side is that there were no damages to the case. And that's what
Yeah.
happened with ours, is that because there was no money and like nobody lost money on the situation, it would technically be thrown out of federal because it's not $100,000 or anything like that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I thought that was super weird, right? Because as you said, there were no damage, and in fact, she profited and benefited from the exposure that this controversy created, right? I mean, the first night she
Well, maybe the first night, yeah.
well, yeah. So the first night she was gloating how she gained 2,000 followers, and over the course of the next 3 nights, she actually gained 8 to 10,000 total.
Oh, well, good
Of
for
course,
her, at
things
least.
came crashing down Monday, but you know, she still had a lift of about 10,000 total followers to her account, and then she was also bragging like dozens of commissions, of
Now-
additional commissions.
Now
So
I'm confused about like why things crashed down on Monday. But before I should hit one quick little disclaimer in here real fast, which is that like nothing that we're telling you or anyone in the audience for that matter, like we're not actually licensed attorneys. None of this is actually legal advice. We're just sort of talking about our experience and the way we understand it. But if you're looking for like actual legal advice, it's like you can only get that from a lawyer, and that's not us. Just to get that clarification out.
for sure, I'm just a big cat on the internet. So.
Yeah. But so
Don't
you said
listen.
that she got like a good boost, so I was like, okay, well, maybe it's not all doom and gloom for her. If she got some followers out of it, then maybe you guys kind of both get some benefit. That's not bad. Why did things change on Monday?
So on Monday, it came out that so she was posting images of completed, just recent completed commissions, and she had posted a picture of I think a wolf in an astronaut outfit in doing a spacewalk or something, and somebody said that's a really interesting piece because I have seen this piece on the internet. And so they took a screenshot of it, and it happened to be a hyena in an astronaut outfit, and put it side by side to Mothusky's wolf. And the poses were the same, the positions were the same, like literally the folds of the astronaut suit were the same.
So it's not just like a similar sort of
Uh-oh.
posture. It's I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And so people are like, this is really strange. And so, I mean, once interest is peaked, right, then people go poking around. And
yeah.
it's like they're peeling the layers back of the onion and discovering that the further they go, the more rotten it gets. And so then they found another piece of like, I think a witch riding a broom, Halloween themed. And they found a source for it as well. And it's like, wow, these are like in exact same positions again. And then somebody also found like a Mothusky does like these maw. She does a lot of like close-up maw pictures, right? Of wolves and big cats, what have you. And yeah, and
Okay.
somebody found a piece of art, a maw picture that looked very similar to some recent maw pictures that she had completed for commissions, right? And then so they're like, oh my gosh, is she tracing, right, some of this stuff? But as they dug in, not only did it come out to be that she is potentially, right, the allegedly, I will say, tracing, but she was sourcing her images from Plague Dog AI Art, which is a Gen AI platform, right? And so
Oh.
yeah, so somebody who is so against using their art in AI is now sourcing potentially from AI. And so over the last, this week, basically since all this came to light on Monday, additional pieces have been found. I think they're up to like 10 or 11 pieces at this point.
Oh God.
And it's like moved away from who's that Selenar guy to like, what is going on with this artist, because she's giving all artists such a bad name now.
Well,
And-
Selenar, I have to wonder, is your art traced from AI? Did you get a JIP? Egypt.
So that was always in the back of my mind, right? And I honestly didn't care so much because, still emotionally I was really attached to the piece. I really liked it and stuff, despite all of the shitstorm that was going on around it. And you probably think I have this terrible potty mouth, which I don't.
No,
Maybe. So
Hazen's
You
worse.
know worse than me.
Hazen's terrible.
this morning I wake up and I log into X, which maybe I should stop doing. But I logged into X and I get multiple DMs from people, and they're like, "It looks like your art was traced too." And they discovered, again, I think on Plague Dog AI, a picture of, I think it was a lion or a tiger, that in the exact same pose,
Oh,
very, very similar background. It's like, oh my God, no. And it's like, yep, your piece of art was traced. And now I'm like, oh, this piece of art that I absolutely love, I'm like, it's like so devalued to me now. And it's like, it's like so deflating.
Well, I mean, after her behavior.
well, again, I can understand an artist being like, "Oh, hey, I don't like this. Would you please take it down?" But I do think if you want to, like, right, maybe she's afraid that the mob is going to come for her if they see her art involved with AI. Maybe there's more reason for that
I
fear.
think that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Maybe that fear is a little more justified than we would have first assumed. But I can understand artists doing that, but it's also like, well, if you want to have them take it down and de-escalate, don't be putting them on blast on your social media and trying to make a big giant deal out of it and doing all of this posing and posturing and like the whole clout chasing cancel stuff. It's like, just don't do anything like that. Talk to the person like they're a person, not like they're a prop in some internet morality play for an audience.
Have you ever heard of the Streisand effect?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you don't even have to talk to the person. You could just be like, fuck that guy. I don't like, I drew a thing. The guy put it through AI. I don't like AI. I specifically told him I didn't want to do that. Fuck him now. I don't want to take commissions from that guy anymore. I'm going to tell people that he did this. You can do all that. You, the person who commissioned the picture, maybe, you're not fine with all that. But as in general, like objectively, if this was anyone else, any other situation, I would say, yeah, that would be, if that's the way you want to conduct yourself, that would be the way to do that. That would be the way to go through that. Or contact the person and be like, yo, man, I literally specifically told. And again, I don't even know, this is really going on a tangent here, but I do not know. And I have seen people speculate about this. Those TOS, my TOS, your TOS for you drawing pictures for people for money, which you should barely have anything on there. It's not been made clear yet if Selenar was shown that TOS and agreed to it, or if anything was signed. It's not been shown yet, as far as I know, that TOS didn't change when people say it changed, which was like May or June or something like that. I have no idea. Maybe you can clear some of that stuff up. Before we get to that, I was gonna say, like, if somebody contacted me and they're like, hey, somebody put my picture through AI, I didn't want them to do that. What would you say I should do? I would say that you should try to reach out to them and tell them, remind them that, and if they won't take it down, just don't talk to that person no more. Tell people that they did this, whatever, but like definitely don't make a federal case out of it and then like do all the shit that you did on Twitter and then brag about how many new followers you've got, especially if you're planning on doing litigation, and especially if you're fucking tracing other people's artwork and tracing generated artwork from fucking AI.
Told you the language was worse. You're clear.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Are you insane?
I think it was a case of, she had all the momentum, right? She had followers going to her. Her, army of NPCs were there backing her up. Mm-hmm. And, I'm the bad guy. And she wanted the exposure. I mean, the exposure gained her so many followers. And so she just kept pushing it. She's like the Greek hero.
That's all it ever
Icarus,
is.
Right? Icarus was the sun. And then, boom, she got exposed and came crashing down to Earth. And, I feel bad in some ways because we opened a dialogue, I think Sunday evening, and I'm like, look, because I literally had friends that, I've known for 10 years in the furry community, like sending me messages and be like, I hate what you are doing to this fandom. You are destroying and tearing apart the fandom.
Yeah, that's what's destroying the fandom.
And I felt bad, right? Because that was not my intention, right? And so I'm like, look, so I reached out to her and I'm like, I want to heal, right? Let's heal. Let's talk about coming together. Let's issue some joint statement that, we're both moving past this, that we have our differences. We can agree to disagree, but we can move forward peacefully, amicably, right? And she's like, okay, we can do that. And then I got busy over, Thursday. She got busy and stuff. And so it progressed. We started to draw up what we wanted to say and stuff. And then, like, I didn't care about the tracing stuff, honestly. I mean, it bugged me, but I'm like, look, my thing is, I just want to heal and move forward.
Mhm.
But then Friday came today, this morning, and I'm like, oh God, she traced my art. And I'm
From
like,
AI.
yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't know if I want to heal now, or at least heal publicly in that way, right?
I think that would heal me instantly, like a fucking senzu bean. If I saw that, that would just be like, oh, I'm back, baby. I'm back.
So I mean, I'm kind of in this mode where, yeah, I still want to heal, but I'm also in this mode of like, she did it to herself, right? And she
Yeah.
tried to scam everybody else, and she was using me as the scapegoat for it, and she knew what she was doing. They always do, right? They always do it.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting perspective. I didn't think about that. She knew that this day was coming where she'd get like kind of exposed for the fuck shit she was doing. So she was trying to build like groundwork of like, but this guy's worse. Look, he used AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you did too.
I will say, I think, like, to me, it's not a big deal to take a picture that you have and bob it into Grok because you want to see it move. Like, again, like I've been paying attention to AI. I haven't really used it in any of my work yet because the generative stuff, I'm impressed by it in some ways, but it just doesn't do what I need it to do. I've probably done more traditional art than, like, seriously 10 furry artists combined at this point. But admittedly, even for me, when I take art that I have done and I can just like press a button and see it come to life, it's kind of cool. Like, I don't think it's a gigantic crime for people to want to see something come to life and be like, oh, that's kind of neat. Like, I don't know, name the victims. I think it's orders of magnitude worse of behavior to literally run around wishing death on people and sort of continuing to tear
Jesus
apart
Christ.
like the social fabric that people sort of rely on, which is like, oh, I can exist in a culture where I'm not going to have random strangers wishing death on me because I pressed the fun button. You know?
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Like, I posted something on Twitter and I was like, this was before I even reached out to Selenar. I was just like, this guy is getting death threats because he paid $200 for, I guess $200, multiple $100. He paid over $100 for some artwork that we now know was traced from an AI generated image. We didn't know that at the time. We now know that it is. He paid $200 for this, and he liked it so much that he was just like, you know what? I will just see what this Grok thing can do with it. Like, oh, look, and I didn't even put a prompt in, and it's like kind of knows like what the guy would be kind of doing and what, it understands the context of stuff just from the image and actually created like a somewhat believable animation. I think that's really cool. And the reaction to that is legal threats and death threats from people who are not nor him or the person who drew the picture. Random motherfuckers coming into Twitter, into this guy's DMs and being like, you should die, you should die, you should die, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you.
Chat says don't press the fun button too hard.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ, that this guy throwing a fucking snow leopard picture through Grok, that's what's killing the fandom, guys. That's why it's not the 50 some odd people who come into someone's like mentions and DMs threatening to kill them potentially credibly. That's got nothing to do with people looking at furry shit and going, man, I don't want to fucking be anywhere near that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's without even getting into like some of the actual murders that have occurred with people.
Oh, murdered, convicted, like child abusers being on staff at events and stuff like that, knowingly. People being warned about, hey, this guy's a convicted child abuser. Oh, whatever, you're banned, not him.
Yeah.
None of that's killing the fandom. It's people throwing images through Grok, guys. That we found it out. We got our furry scientists to mix liquids in beakers over and over, and there's smoke, and they got safety glasses on and papers, and they were like, "It's this check Grok." People throwing images through Grok. That's what's killing our fandom.
Okay.
Guys. We figured it out.
Okay, the kicker for me is that the artists who get upset about the AI animation, in particular, they're not animating your picture. Like, Dave could technically animate your picture, and it would take longer than 30 seconds, but he could probably do a better job. And he doesn't care because he likes how quick it is, and you can kind of test it and try different things. He doesn't feel like his commissions are being taken away.
Well,
and
yeah, I
like
think
this
everybody
lady would
who's
probably never animate whatever she drew.
No,
or
like
traced.
seriously,
I think
if anyone
everybody
ever gets,
who draws.
yeah, if anyone ever gets a commission from me, and there's a magic button where you can make it also animated, please hit that button.
Show us.
I'd like to see.
And show it to
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna
I
say
wanna see
anybody who draws furry art, probably like I would say anybody who draws furry art probably originally wanted to get into animating stuff. They saw a cartoon or something like that, and they're like, "Wow, I would like to make cartoons like that." And then they find out you have to draw like 1,000,000 pictures to make like 30 seconds of good animation. And they're just like, "Well, I'll just draw pictures for now." And then suddenly 20 years goes by, and they're just drawing pictures still. So I think a lot of people would be in love with. You would think these people would be in love with these. Oh my God! Like I can actually animate something, and I don't have to have like a $4 million team of gnarled hand Koreans that animate The Simpsons, like drawing 1,000,000 pictures from keyframes I drew. I can just do it in like 30 seconds and make like a little animation. Awesome! Like why are you guys so angry that this exists now?
Yeah, and
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
their argument is always like, pick up a pencil, do it yourself, and learn it. And it's like, my talents
Mix
are not in
paint.
art, right? Yeah, I mean, my talents
Mix
are not in
paint.
art, and so, that's why I use something like AI, because maybe it can allow me to visualize something that is in my head. I could, text to image or text to video, and maybe get something that'll give me an idea to further along, my image or vision, right?
Well, I don't think anyone in this group here can build a car yet. We drive them. Oh,
Sure.
Yeah, and if you could
Big
press a
deal.
button, you remember that old like piracy ad? If you wouldn't download a car, yeah, a bunch of people would do that if they could.
You wouldn't download. Actually, it'd be cool if 3D printers can actually start downloading like I don't know, vehicles price.
Download them and just printing them out. I just printed my car, dude. That's like the future. That's 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna 3D print a car.
Even when
Yeah.
it comes to the controversy of like they traced an AI image for their commissions, I don't even think there's anything that wrong. Like if you want to trace an AI picture, and then like even customize it for people and make it more like their character, it's sort of like a your character here AI generation or whatever. I don't even think there's like a big problem with that as long as you're upfront and people sort of know what you're doing and you're not trying to be like weird and sneaky about it. Don't, like as soon as people try to conceal what they are doing, it sort of sends the message that according to them they think there is something morally wrong with it. But I don't even think there really is anything. Like if there was an artist out there that was doing work like a Moth, what's her name? If there was an artist out there,
Dusky, yeah.
yeah, Moth Dusky. If there was an artist out there that was making images that looked like that, and they just told people, hey, yeah, actually, I use like a step of AI to sort of get the basis here because I'm not that great at figure drawing, but that gives me the thing, and then I really have the technique down. I can customize it and I can make it look like your character, so I can sort of like doll it up the way you want. Maybe some people wouldn't be interested, but there'd probably still be people that would be cool with that. I don't see the big problem.
Kat is pointing out. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. I was gonna say, as a client, I knew I followed her for probably 6-8 months prior to even commissioning her, and I knew that she probably did some tracing because many of her, she would do like these your character here commissions, and she would churn out a bunch of different ones, right, all in very similar poses, and I'm like, okay, she probably does some tracing, but she probably creates the original art and then just traces it and customizes it. Okay, this is a wolf, that's a lion, whatever, right? And so I'm like, okay, that's fine with me. I totally get that. But then to find out that she didn't even create the original piece to trace from, but AI created it, that's just kind of...
Well, especially if she
It's
was
super
like,
deflating, yeah.
especially if she was like attempting to conceal that fact from customers. It's like it means
It's
again,
kind of a lie by omission, right?
Again, to me, it makes it look as though, like, I don't know, like if I was using AI in a step of my workflow, I don't think I'd have it be a big secret. I'd like I'd be open about it. I wouldn't conceal it from people. If you're trying to hide something, it says like, well, I mean, obviously it looks like it's not going well now that people are figuring out that she's not actually drawing, that she's tracing this stuff from AI allegedly. So,
I wonder if they want refunds.
I don't know. Well, it would also be a lot more difficult for her to sue people over copyright if it turns out that she didn't create the images to begin with, and she was in fact. I mean, it kind of complicates things a little bit.
At least you have the one she traced.
People have
I would
posted
imagine
that they have requested refunds.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that she, I think that her, so many of these followers are, content to look the other way. Because, they get all worked up into a frenzy. And then when they realize, oh, geez, this mission that we were on is not really what we want to be associated with, they just look the other way.
Yeah, well, you
Or they
usually...
I think...
Follow and then leave.
I will say that I have tried a couple times to be friends with people who are like, to me, we make this distinction, and I don't think this distinction is really made enough. But there's a clear distinction between people who just kind of enjoy like furry media and anthro art and shit like that versus like the lifestyle type people is what Dave calls it. Yeah, and I think that's a great name for it. There's the lifestyle people. There's like the con rats and people who just they live to go to these like conventions and like they live to be part of like this community of furries and stuff like that. And I have always noticed that.
And if you're like that, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like for example, Solinar went to Megaplex for the first time this year.
Yep.
Yeah, if you like conventions, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But what I was saying, like, if you like conventions, that's one thing. But the people I've met who are like obsessed with like all they want to talk about is like, hey, do you know Big Brown Horse? Like, no, I don't know Big Brown Horse. I don't know what the fuck that is. Well, I met him one time at a convention. Like, that's all they have to talk about is like their associations with someone who's more famous than them, quote unquote, in the fandom or whatever. What I've noticed about those people is that like that is really like what they live for, and everything else is disposable. So like any morals, any kind of actual principles that property, associations with people, friendships with people that don't serve the purpose of like raising their status within the community, that is all throwaway as far as they're concerned. So I think that's what you're seeing here a lot with some of these people who know this part. Like they have seen what come out today. They know this person, this horse they've been backing for a week or more has done something bad. That's the exact thing she chastised someone else for doing and DMCA claims someone else for doing. And they are just like, well, I can't say anything about that because like I'm technically friends with this person. I've gotten lots of commissions from them, so we're friends now. And if I'm friends with this person, that means I might they might help me get famous one day when I start drawing or something like that. Okay. And they never start. But
well,
yeah,
keep in mind,
I think that's what we're seeing.
Hazen's never been to a furry convention, so maybe he's just jealous.
Yeah, that's probably what it is, honestly.
Yeah, but no, I think with Twitter, the thing is, you click follow. You look at like 3 posts, you carry on, and then if they do something terrible on that account, you never see it again, and they're not paying attention. I think that's exactly what it is they follow and move on.
That could be that too. I don't think it's that. Yeah, because a lot of those people are in the Discord too. Yeah, those people are in that person's Discord, like watching them go bananas and erupt over all this shit on a daily basis, and they're just sitting there going like, "Oh yeah, you tell them."
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm still in her Discord. Shh.
Oh, you shouldn't. No, actually.
Shh.
I shouldn't have told you that.
Ban in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you just booted.
It's time for a fake account to talk about yourself and watch. Screenshot.
Yeah, I hate that guy. Fuck Solinar.
No, if
douche. Put him
ban
on
based on IP.
Cringe.
No, if one account goes, you get banned.
They were, of course, very chatty until Monday when the tracing allegations came to light, and then they got very silent. Yes.
You know what? I am convinced that she is so busy doing damage control right now that she is not worried about you anymore.
That's probably
Humiliation.
I'm sorry you had so many legal days. I hope you made the legal folder and put all of her screenshots and names and emails and everything in there.
Yeah,
because that's
if
all
there-
it'll take.
If there is like a risk of litigation, that's the one thing you want to do is just document everything, which is a
Yeah,
chore,
so, I
but
mean,
you know it
I-
pays off.
you know, obviously I don't, and I said this in my, I wrote this in our email exchanges. I'm like, look, nobody wants to litigate, right? Because who gets rich? The lawyers get rich, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, we should sort this out. And I mean, like you said, there's no damages. There's no damages. I could claim that I am uncompensated because I helped grow her account by 10,000 followers. And so what monetize, what would that look like in terms of X spend? That's about a $35,000 value right there to grow somebody's account by 10K followers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
right. And so, and there's, DMCA misrepresentation claims. I mean, there's a bunch of counterclaims that I could make. But again, people keep asking me, oh, when are you going to sue her? When are you going to sue her? And I'm like, I'm not going to sue her, right? Don't start these rumors.
No.
I will defend myself. I will file counter claims, but she would have to take the first move to sue.
No, I honestly, there's nothing you should be suing over. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, because there's no damages anywhere.
That's right. Yep.
The other thing too is it's usually not a free consultation. The lawyer is taking money to hear your case and then make a decision.
Oh, for sure. For sure. They'd have to do a lot of discovery. So we talked about the terms of service, right?
Yeah.
And Dave, I think you mentioned like way back at the beginning of the show that maybe parts of the terms of service were changed. So when I signed up and commissioned on June 2nd, I had a different terms of service, right? I had one where there was no mention of AI.
Ooh.
And
She said you did know. She said she showed you the new one.
she did not. But the way that the terms of service must be surfaced, and I work in social media platforms, and so I know how this works. And also going through her checkout flow, I never went through her normal checkout flow, which I think is with Ko-Fi. She just sent me a PayPal invoice. It's like, pay this, and so I paid it, right? The PayPal invoice is nothing. It shows you nothing there. It's like, here, I'll give you this piece of art. Here's the date. Pay $100 or whatever it is, right? So. For the record, I paid $110. I ultimately paid her $130 because I gave her a tip, but that's what the cost of the art was.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
You
well,
gave her a tip, and this is like how
know.
this
I
ended
didn't
up.
know,
God
right? I didn't know.
almighty.
So,
Okay.
so when I was going through the checkout,
Wait, doesn't she? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Doesn't she draw not safe for work stuff?
safe for work stuff. I mean, I asked
Not
her.
safe for work.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure she does, but I did not ask for that.
I know. I swear, like when I was like looking at stuff people had posted, like one of them was not safe for work, and that I mean, nobody. First of all, before I say anything, let me preface this: nobody go fuck with anybody's shit, please. That's stupid and gay. Don't do that. But like I'm pretty sure a lot of those pay sites, like that you process transactions through, have a no not safe work TOS. So that's two. That's Twitter and that. If she's doing not safe for work stuff, Twitter and that, two other TOSs that she ignored. While what you're saying is not displaying them readily for people coming in to purchase stuff. At least in your case, is what you're claiming.
Now,
Yep.
Selenar, if you were a troublemaker, and I'm sure you're not,
I better
you could.
like nobody, like audience, anyone. Like I like the fact that our audience is actually chill, so no one better be getting like ideas on lame behavior. Like let's please be nice to everyone.
No. I'm just letting you know that when you work with PayPal, it is really easy to get a charge back, and the artist has a very hard time defending that. But I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
you're
mean,
nice.
I believe it.
I wouldn't do that.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't either at this point. After all that fuss, just let
I mean,
it go. But
You did, yeah.
Not-
You paid
not
for the
that much.
thing. You got the thing delivered. Like I wouldn't. I don't think it's through PayPal anyway. I think you said it was through some other. Oh wait, no. You said normally it's through Coffee.
Yeah, Ko-Fi. Yeah.
Ko-Fi, but this was
Ko-Fi.
PayPal,
Is it
yeah.
Ko-Fi? I thought it was because it says buy me a coffee.
It might be.
Is that a
Might
separate
be.
thing?
I don't know. I say, potato, whatever.
Well, I've eliminated one place you work at in social media.
So just back to the TOS real quick. So
Yeah.
you know, I did a ton of research on this to make sure I had it correct. But the way that the TOS is, I mean, when you download an app, you know, you subscribe to something, you always have to either scroll to the end of the TOS, click I agree, you know, hold the enter button down, you know, circle something. You have to engage with the TOS to show that you read it, whether you did or not. But and then you hit I agree and you check, right? You hit a checkbox, right? So that's engagement with the TOS. That was changed legally back in like 2014, 2015. Before that time, TOSs could have been just on a web page somewhere. It says, you agree, you know, if you buy this, you agree to these things, right? It could have been like literally 6-point font down at the bottom of the web page, and no user would ever see it. No buyer would ever see it. So that is called a browse wrap TOS.
I'm so glad you know this.
That was ruled unenforceable. I did a ton of research. That was ruled
God.
unenforceable because there is a case, Nguyen versus Barnes and Noble in 2014, when the courts ruled browse wrap TOSs are unenforceable, starting in the state of California, adopted later by other states. And so that's where her TOS is. It's on her webpage that says, you know, you agree to these things if you buy from me. That's unenforceable. So legally, she has no claim there. You can't claim anything with TOS. But of course, all those little NPC minions are like, oh, TOS. It's like there are nuances to a TOS. You have to understand this. They're like, no, we don't want to hear.
Yes, God.
Right?
Oh my God. Yeah. Suddenly everyone's a fucking lawyer on Twitter.
And I made that case a couple different times. I'm like, you little armchair judges and lawyers, you have no idea what you're talking about. And they're like, no, we know. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But so, I mean,
I like your research. This is really informative.
so
Photo
legally, I
armchair
didn't
psychologist.
care, right? Yeah. So, but that's, you know, and then so we talked about when it was changed. So it was changed according to some records on like Wayback Machine, for example. It was changed July 27th is when she changed the TOS to show the mention of AI. But again, the TOS checkout was not in my checkout flow. And when you change the TOS, it's not retroactive. Everybody who had previously agreed to it, if you want them to be bound by it, has to go back in and reaffirm. They have to assent to the new TOS. So they have to go through. That's why, you know, sometimes iOS comes in and is like, we changed our terms. You have to agree, right? And before you can use your iPhone, right? All these apps do it. And so that is the modern way legally that companies protect themselves.
Hey Dave, just a note, the scarf is supposed to have a pattern on it. It's kind of a plaid kind of deal.
It is on one. On this
Where's
one,
the guy?
I'm gonna leave it solid though. Where's what guy?
He's not even in the picture. Oh, there he is. You had him.
You're
You
not
had him
supposed to
turned
leave it
off.
solid. There's like a little white like plaid bar. Please put the plaid bar on.
Only because you asked so nice.
It's
Thank you.
free. Just use
Well-
AI to change it.
Oh,
Just use AI. Put the plaid on, dude. See what it does. See, this is another thing I wanted to bring up.
Literally,
I've had.
literally, I can do it faster than like if I tried to upload it.
That's
into
what I was
an
gonna
AI,
say.
It's like, I'll just do it. It'll take like.
That's
5
what I was gonna
seconds.
say. Yeah. Like I had so many people because I put that thing like this guy's getting death threats over this shit. This is so crazy. This is dumb. You guys shouldn't be doing this. Like I had so many people come into my shit and be like, AI is so stupid and it just steals art and you just press a button and get whatever you want. It's like it does not work like that. Dave is an artist. Dave literally can put plaid on this thing faster than he can learn how to use the AI to do that because he knows how to do the art.
he's actually tracing plaid right now.
I'm tracing
Yeah,
plaid
he
right
is.
now. I had to get an
I
AI
know
image
how
of
to
plaid
use-
from the internet.
Yeah, I know how to use AI, generative AI image models locally. I know how it works. I have setups for it. I know I know exactly what to do to make that thing plaid. And I could still go into CSP, pull this image up and make that plaid faster, the way I wanted it to be faster. And it would be righter than it is with AI. You could do it with AI, but it would take a lot longer and you would have to use you'd have to put a little more wear and tear on your GPU to get what you actually want out of it. So if you ever, if you ever go into some argument and say that AI is just the easy thing, like you are stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. Shh.
Okay.
You tell.
Gotta tell you though, wait a week, maybe AI can do it faster.
Yeah, it
Changing.
won't be long before it can, but like, yeah, right now to get exactly what you want it takes less time just to go in and edit an image, or if you know how to draw, just go in and draw it.
Yeah, I will say, just a personal exclamation. I don't assume that this artist can't draw or anything, but it's like, I can draw, right? I've been drawing since I was like 4. I have no desire to trace AI at all. Like zero. It hasn't even occurred to me. Like, it's hard for me to like relate to that mindset. It's like, if you can draw, why wouldn't you want to bring anything to life that you can imagine? That's the magic of drawing. Why would you, like, generative AI? It's like a cool toy. You hit a button, you do all the right prompts. I'm gonna contradict Hazen. You just hit a button, the image comes out perfect. But no, like, it's cool, right? You can
All
like,
images are perfect.
but it's not, to me, it's not the same as like having something specific in my mind and then like literally bringing it from inside of me into life on the paper. Like, there's like, that's I don't know. I just, if someone can do that, I don't understand why they would do AI tracing. It just boggles my mind a little. That's off topic.
It's almost like it's just a completely industrial process to them, and that they don't actually like doing it or something. Crazy to think, I know, but
Okay.
that could be one explanation.
Yeah, I mean, she
Dave-
does
Oh, go ahead.
faces, right? All the faces are custom, right,
Oh,
based
okay.
on the commissioner, right? And so, I mean, she's got skills to be able to draw, I think, and you know, I guess she just uses the tracing aspect to get done so much quicker.
Maybe it's an anatomy issue.
Yeah.
A lot of people are bad at anatomy.
Yeah, I was gonna say faces, like, they seem like they would be the most complex thing, but like, especially like cartoony furry faces. I'm not saying they're easy, but they're one of the easiest things to draw. Every time you see somebody learning to draw, one of the first things they do is start drawing a bunch of faces and expressions and stuff like that, because that's something that's easier to grasp, like the sensibilities and like the fundamentals of. Again, not saying it's easy, not saying that's proof she doesn't know how to draw or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if the evidence of this person is actually an artist is that they can draw faces, I think that you know, somebody's gonna probably need to make a little bit more of a case to convince me. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
I see, Dave, you're doing shading on this?
just a quick run of cell shading. I'm just gonna do a little
Oh,
cell
he
shading.
can't help himself.
Quick little
He
He
overlay
always
layer.
does this.
Just,
know.
He animates everything. Oh my god.
I don't animate everything. I animate the occasional piece of fan art, just because it was.
Okay. Well, anyway, Dave, we have to take this away from you and put it in the machine and see what happens.
I know. I'm keeping an eye on the time. Once it hits 8 o'clock, at that point they have an hour, and I think AI can probably do something with this inside of an hour. So
Yeah, post them on Twitter. We'll look at them. We'll try to dig them up and like show them on stream. Maybe, I don't know, Dave. Do you think you can handle that?
if you guys link me with like a specific, if you guys can like give me MP4 files, then I can probably dig that up and show it on stream.
No, don't do this because it's a really terrible idea and you'll get in more trouble. But it would be really funny to just AI all of the art on her Twitter and make it dance and send it to her. Just a model.
Oh,
Don't
that's
do-
mean.
No.
I know.
Especially like I mean,
do
I know people could argue, oh well, she's getting caught for her behavior. She brought it on herself. Blah blah. It's like, yeah,
It's kind of karma.
yeah, maybe, but you know, it's I don't know. It's still a person that's going through like a rough spot. I don't think it's nice to make it worse. Like, you know, they got some stuff to deal with.
Yeah,
Everyone's got
please.
challenges, right? Just be
You
nice.
can't sue everybody.
Please God, if you're listening to this, don't do any of this shit. Like I'm not ironically saying that to cover our asses. I am literally actually telling you, like, it's funny to think about this shit. It is a
Yeah.
funny thought. Don't actually go fuck with people or like do things like that. You are becoming the monster. You beware fighting monsters too long lest you become one. You are at that
All right.
last part of that.
Well, they're saying he's so fluffy, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I think that's from a classic film, Despicable Me.
Okay. Clown horn returns.
Yeah, but everyone behave yourself.
Clown Horn returns. Clown Horn 2, Clown Horn returns.
Was this taciturna?
How's there never been
commentary?
how's there never been a clown cowboy movie called Clown Horn?
Because we have taste and nobody wants to spend the money. Hey, but with AI, Hazen, that could be a big debut.
Yeah, Asian,
I'm gonna make that with AI.
Make-
As
yes.
soon as Grok can make like more than a 6-second clip, I'm gonna make an AI little show called Clown Horn.
Clownhorn, the
Like,
film.
Clown Horn, comedy cowpoke or something like that. Nobody steal that. I'll sue you. I'll DMCA claim you on Twitter.
That's like right up there with the Cowboys of Moo Mesa, I gotta say.
Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Wait, what is that? I
No,
know.
I told Dave about this. It's
I've
a
heard-
Ninja
I have
Turtles
heard that.
ripoff. It's a Ninja Turtles ripoff. Nostalgia Critic did a video about it, reviewing it. a
Oh,
little bit.
that's what I remember. Yeah. Okay. I don't
Yeah.
really remember anything about it, but I do remember hearing that from Doug.
There were toys.
God bless Doug, by the way, these days. He is so much more fun to watch and appear on things than he used to be 6-7 years ago.
True.
We love Doug. We love you, Doug.
Gotta
Love
drop
you.
him a line sometimes, like the worst possible way to compliment. It's like, hey man, your content got so much better than it was. Just like the most.
I would say that to I would fucking absolutely say that to him. Doug, I love you now. Like, it's, if you're listening to this, you're not. But if you're listening to this, like, please keep doing what you're doing right now forever until you can't make videos anymore, because it's so I could genuinely watch everything you produce now all day long if I had time to watch it. Like,
Okay,
it's
so wait,
it's just so
is that
genuine
a,
and
is
fun.
that a compliment? You've gotten better.
I think he has gotten better. I think he's not like, for lack of, like, again, he's not listening to this, but like,
No.
hypothetically, if he was hearing this, like, maybe it would make him mad to hear it. But like, I think that him and a lot of the Channel Awesome people were kind of up their own ass for a long time, and they were taking themselves too seriously. You're a goofball on YouTube, and I think Doug is like one of the few people who actually was just like, you know what? I'm a goofball on YouTube. I'm just going to be a goofball on YouTube, and I'm going to give my genuine thoughts on movies. And his content has gotten so much better since he kind of just accepted that.
What if God was
All right, well,
one of
so-
us? But let's get back
I had to
to
ask.
the guest
yeah.
and his death threats, because we
Yeah,
don't get to
really.
talk to someone that's been going through this shit every day. So it's curious.
We have our own
Someone else who's going through this.
Finally,
every
someone
day.
else is suffering.
Kindred spirit, yeah. All right. Selenar, do you think you're going to get commissions from other artists, or have you kind of had enough for a while?
So, I mean, it's not like I do a bunch of commissions as it is, right? And so that's why I didn't care so much that, I'm going to put you on an Artist Beware list or, a art block list. I'm like, it's fine, right? I mean, because I honestly don't get too much commissioned art. I probably will in the future, right? But I will certainly be more careful. But I think that, there's so many, like, I've met people at cons and whatnot, and, they come up to me and they're like, oh, I want to give you some gift art. I love your character and stuff, and which is so sweet. I mean, and I want to look for those kind of people, right? That do art because they love it and not because it's like their gig. Right. And so I'll probably look for those types of, and they're probably more indie artists in the future when I next get commissions. This piece of art looks great, by the way.
Yay!
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to ask you,
cool.
what do you use for like a setup? Do you use a Wacom tablet, or are you on an iPad, or?
It's like a Wacom tablet, but it's more affordable. It's called a Veek or a Vike. I was just like, oh, what's like a Wacom tablet? But I don't have to spend as much because I'm on an artist's salary, and so
I don't think they make them anymore. They made exactly one for Dave, and then they were like, never again.
although I
It's,
will
yeah, it's one of those things from China where they make it for like a year and then they like suddenly they're like, we're different guys now. We're a different company.
hey, it's
Right.
working. It's working just fine. I actually got it mainly for
Some of it works great, yeah.
Yeah, I got it
I'm
mainly
not, but maybe that sounds like I'm shitting on it. I'm not.
I mainly picked it up for animation on stuff. Typically, I still do paper and pencil for all of my more serious, like, graphic novel work, and most of my illustrations always start with paper and pencil for the comics, just because I love paper and pencil. I can get so much detail and sort of, like, texture with it. So it's rare that I will ink something just totally digitally, unless it's an animation, because if it's animation, there's just too many advantages to... I used to animate with paper and pencil, and like sticking a flashlight in a fish tank to use as a light table, but there's just too many advantages to having onion skinning in like CSP and Blender.
Hey, Dave, before you go onto your page, could you sign your name on that?
Oh yeah, I always forget that part. Thank you.
We're going to play with it. So the plan is we would like, I can only work with Picardo Chat, but we would like Picardo Chat to come up with some crazy ideas that Selenar could perform. And we'll read them to Selenar, and he'll pick out what we could run through AI as a prompt
Yeah.
and see what this character wants to do.
Let me save this as a JPEG, and then Selenar, I'll drop it to you so you can do whatever with it.
Yep. And we
Yeah,
could grab a
that's great.
couple and run them all at the same time and see what we want to do. Oh, I will say though, you poor dear, you might want to reconsider putting your AI masterpieces on Twitter for a little while. wait a year and try again for all the crazies to calm down and secretly use it.
Yeah. Well, I
100%.
hope none of their. I hope all the people making threats were just making idle threats, but still, you do just be careful about whatever information you're putting out there, because people can cobble together a lot of things if they're trying to track you down if they're sufficiently determined, and take reasonable security precautions wherever you live, and don't talk about what the precautions are online, because you don't want people to put that into their planning systems or anything like that. But I don't know, just be, you're dealing with cartoons and artwork. You have to be careful now. This is the life you've chosen.
For sure. Yeah, thank you. This is great.
Oh, sure. I mean, hey, fortunately, the
Live by
internet moves
tune,
fast.
Die by the tune.
The rage moves fast. They've gone on to somebody else, and apparently it's her. So
I do think there's certain audiences where that's actually their chosen form of entertainment. It's just a form of outrage. That's how they get their dopamine hit, is by just being enraged and bitter and furious at a target. And I think the secret is for some people, that is simply the way they are. That's who they are inside. And the only thing that changes is they need a new excuse every day or so. So I think that's a lot of what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of people that just never learn to control their own emotions, and they're turning into angry, bitter, just sort of terrible people. But no one wants to believe that about themselves. So instead, they have to say, no, I'm not an angry person. I'm angry because, and they're always in the market to answer that question for themselves. And there's not an ending to that cycle. So if anyone out there gets outraged on the internet a lot, I would suggest that you try to see if you can interrupt that cycle for yourself.
And to be fair, they're everywhere. It's not just Twitter. It's Blue Sky and Facebook. I've seen them.
Oh my
Totally.
God, it's especially Blue Sky. Oh man. And
And it's just it's always followed with lack of self-awareness, right? They never try and improve for themselves, and they can never be accountable for something. It's always somebody else who is at fault.
Yeah, consistently.
This is all too real.
You unbelievable!
All right, I think the JPEG should be in our little shared room, so if you want to play with it, you can. And if there's, I don't know, and even anyone watching the stream, if you want to screen grab this and play with it in Grok or whatever. I'm not territorial. I'm not going to DMCA strike you. The more.
Yeah, post it. I'll post it in the Discord actually, so you guys can have it. If you're a patron, if you're not, you can't. Ha!
The more fun. This is just my mindset, especially with this drawing. It's this drawing, I made it because I want Selenar to be oh, that's nice, and have fun. If more people have fun with it, if there's more joy that comes from it, cool. That's just more fun in the world for everyone.
Unless Selenar tells everybody not to put it in AI because it's his now, and only he can put in AI.
Dude, everybody can do what they want.
All right, let's program him.
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be great if Michael Jackson's original vision for the future of music copyright just applied to everything?
Actually,
and everybody could just do what they want. It's a lot of people say this is why people started accusing him of some of the crazy shit that he probably didn't do according to the evidence. But he had this vision for music where he had a billion, gajillion, trillion, gorillion dollars. So he was like, I'm gonna buy all the music in the world and I'm just gonna free it. I'm just gonna make it where anyone can use it, anything they want, all the time. And then somebody said, "Actually, you're molesting kids a lot."
Well, it's tinfoil Hattie, but a lot of tinfoil Hattie stuff pans out. Hey Liz,
He did do some crazy shit. He held that baby over that balcony and stuff, like Simba. That's a baby though, bro. You can't be holding it over a balcony. But he did. Was he a little bit loopy? Yeah. Could he have been doing some of the stuff people accused him of? Maybe. I don't the evidence that people presented sure doesn't seem to say that it is, but it's not impossible. But all that stuff kind of happened right after he started announcing he was gonna free the music, so to speak. And that is a little bit weird that all that stuff started kind of coming out and being a more prominent thing than that.
Maybe
Right after that too.
Maybe some other triple, quad, billion zillionaire will free the music for everybody. Because that would make it a lot
He
easier
died
to...
in massive debt because he overspent. I never heard that.
I have a video of Selling Are Scared that came automatically.
Double picture.
Oh,
Double kill.
damn, that's really good. I'm
Oh,
gonna
wait, this is
download that
Vidya.
now. Liz already got like an animation out of that.
It's
thing.
the craziest thing about Grok to me versus like Kling and well, I haven't tried WAN 2.5, but like WAN 2.2, Kling, the thing that Grok and Sora seem to really do well with, which is amazing to me, is they can look at a picture with no prompt and they can understand from the image how it should be, and like what is the correct way people would expect this to be animated. 9 out of 10 times it'll get it correct.
Yeah, I've got it up on stream now. Like, I had it up on stream. Did I forget
It's
to tell it to
gone!
loop?
There it is.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
Seriously, that's a good looking. That's really good looking animation for that.
Now, David, how long would that take you to animate?
Probably 2 days with the secondary motion, especially. I really like the secondary motion on it.
Okay, so when Dave says 2 days, what he's literally saying is like eat, sleep, draw for 18 hours a day for 2 days. So like, and do nothing but that. Like, that's what he means. Just so we're clear.
Liz, did you do a prompt with that or just drop it in?
No, this was just dropped in, and this is Grok spit that out completely unprompted. It was just the image alone.
You could, I don't know who this Chill Corner guy is. Oh wait, I think I recognize that picture, profile picture, but I don't know who it is exactly. Yeah, you can try this with a pic that we've done before. Grok is free, grok.com/imagine. You can go there, and I think you can just sign in with your Twitter, or you can sign in with other things too. I think you just sign in with an email if you want, but like I think that you can just do as many free little clips as you want right now. Probably won't be that way forever, but you can. If you wish you could animate a picture that Dave and Liz drew, literally go take that picture, drop it into Grok, and watch it be animated.
Yeah. See, this is why I'm even
Pebbles on Discord.
realizing
Oh, Mr. Pebbles, yeah.
that in the future, if these tools continue to level up, having more fine-tuned control over exactly what characters do, and because I don't like in the future, I know that people are like, oh, you'll be able to just like hit a button and AI will make a movie for you out of scratch. It's like, yeah, but I think that you're still gonna need a lot of the human touch. You need to have like some creative vision as to like how is the pacing going to be in a scene, what sets the tone, like where are the characters looking exactly, how do they feel, what's more nuance on the way they present their emotion. And I think even voice acting is going to be a lot better if it comes from people. So I think that the way I see it happening, hopefully in a utopic future, is that people with really interesting, fun, dynamic, creative visions that want to bring a story to life no longer need to have like $300 million in a Hollywood studio to do it. Like basically just people that have a creative vision could be right up there alongside these huge corporate studios, and I hope technology becomes like the thing that levels the playing field, and then it's just down to like, well, who can make the best content? And it's still down to human imagination and vision and like taste and direction. But I would like it if these tools just basically make it more accessible to everyone to create what they think would be cool. Oh, another one? Yeah, I'll agree. Is it...
It has a spicy option. I've never used that though. I've never clicked the spicy. I just always say like whatever the normal prompt is, and then you can literally just say like she takes her top off and her melons fall out or whatever, you know, and then like it'll just do that. Like I don't know if it's because my VPN says America, but like if people are having problems where they can't do stuff like that or something, I'm not sure. I don't know how to fix it, but I know that it can do it and it will do it.
So I not that I have played around with the spicy option a lot. No. by no means. I have heard that a recent Grok update has really disabled a bunch of the spicy results that Grok will give you, and now a lot more things will be flagged by moderation. So it's harder to get spicy stuff through, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's not awful. It's just like what they're doing with it. But there's like, because I think it's like free expression. Like Civet AI, I don't want to get like on a big AI thing, but I guess that's what we're talking about. Long story short, there's a site where everybody used to go to get all their checkpoint models and LoRa's and everything else. You could get video stuff there, everything. It's called Civet AI, and Civet AI recently, because they've been fighting with credit card processor networks for the last 9 months, and while they're doing that, just let everybody use their GPU farm for free, and their bandwidth and everything else. So they come out with an announcement, and they were like, guys, we don't want to eliminate not safe for work. Here's how we're going to approach this. We're going to have a separate site that's all safe for work, and the regular site here, which is just going to remain the way it is. You can do not safe for work here, but you're going to have to pay for it. And you can't pay with credit card. You have to pay on this Kingwin site with like some weird card from an alien land, or you have to pay with Bitcoin or something like that. And that, I was like, wow, that seems pretty reasonable. And I went to check the comments, and it was like, fuck you, Civet AI, I hope you burn to the ground. Like, it was the same sort of like weird, violent reaction. It's like, dude, like, if you've ever said, I know this is like a thing. If you've never built Arch Linux from the console before, but like if you've never set up a not safe for work store, let me clue you into a few things. Okay, one main thing: it's fucking hard to do. It's not easy. If you're trying to set up your own payment processor, especially if it's for some new technology like AI that like banks are like, ooh, that seems spooky. Like that is very hard to find a payment processor that will allow you to do that stuff. It's not because Visa and MasterCard hate porn. It's not because they hate titties and bobs and vagine and all that. It's because Visa and MasterCard have been sued for billions of dollars, have been dragged into lawsuits for billions of dollars because of stuff people were doing on sites that was really, really bad and really, really illegal, and they were doing it after they had received multiple things to do it. Sites like Pornhub, go look up the Pornhub lawsuit, which I think may still be going on. Visa got dragged into that, and Visa tried to get out of it. And that was the time where they said like, okay, if you want to do porn, it's extremely expensive to do this now. Good luck. And it's really expensive to do, especially anything digital. So a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people think that these people are just greedy, or like, well, they just want money. Yeah, of course they want money. They're running a fucking GPU farm. You get to use for free. So like they maybe want to have some money to keep that up and stuff, instead of just letting everybody use it for free forever. And Grok is not going to be free forever. Grok, you can do stuff for free right now, but eventually it's probably going to give you a little taste like a dealer, and then you're going to have to buy next time.
Okay, Dave, if you check the Discord, we've been putting a whole bunch of different versions in here. One I have
there's
came
so
from
many.
Mammo, and he actually talks to you.
Oh, he talks.
Just kind of, he talks to you, yeah. I don't know how to do that.
And he has a
but it's
beard.
really- Yeah, he grew a beard.
Oh my God, Dave! Please play this one. Please play
Oh,
this one.
I gotta hold on. There's this one. There's the one where
I know
he
they all look
talks.
alike.
All right, I'm gonna have to.
It's
maybe
the
I
one
can-
where Liz says he
We need
talks.
all of them.
Yeah. Liz, I gotta come through your headphones again. That's what happens when you're in the same room.
What the hell is this last one?
There's
Oh
one
my
like he grows
God,
a
he
beard.
transforms the scarf
Oh, he turns
like a
the
Sailor
scarf
Moon
into-
thing.
All right, I'm gonna be looking at these. Okay, there's the one where he. Yeah, this is one. This is. Oh, he grows a beard in that one. What the heck? That's great. Now I got them downloaded. Now I need to stick them into my little thing
Oh
here.
my God. I'm so glad we did this stream.
Media source. Create new. All right, there's.
You can just swap the source file too, I think.
Oh, I
for
might be.
OBS.
Yeah, that actually might be faster.
What?
Okay. here's
Am
the
I
one.
drawn or traced from AI? I'm gonna sue you!
Actually, I don't even know if there's audio to that or not.
What?
There is.
Am I
audio.
drawn or
definitely
traced
don't
from
want it.
AI?
Yeah, I
I'm
just
gonna
don't have it
sue
set up so
you!
that I can hear it. Audience is hearing
Oh,
it.
that's
Whatever.
awful.
Someone tell me what
No.
he's saying if he's saying something like really cool. I can't tell. I'm playing the media in the streamer thing.
Oh, he basically says like if you like something about if you're like pick out a trace from drawing.
Saying gamer words and get you banned.
Oh,
from
he's
Twitch.
talking. He's starting to sue. That's. I'm gonna have to listen to that later when I can actually hear it.
What? Am I drawn or traced from AI? I'm gonna sue you!
Oh, that's great. Please, Selenar's
It's such a funny
character,
voice
don't
for it
shoot.
too.
All right, now let me see if I can change out. This one says business casual. We'll have this one move. There he is. Transforming his scarf into a nice collared shirt. That makes sense.
I wish I could do that. Yeah. Can we get to work on AI clothes, Elon? I know you're listening to this.
Yeah. I will say, like, the one where he's like looking around and he's worried, like, that makes a little sense why his tail is going overtime. When he's just putting his shirt on and his tail is swishing around so much, it's like that's a lot of tail swishing for just arranging his collar there.
He's upset he has to go to work. That's why they have to pay him to come in.
Here's him going a little more nuts. That's fun. Oh wow. It seems like it even kind of
He's getting
understands the perspective in most of these too. It's really impressive.
Yeah, it does. It understands the question marks, what they are. Like,
Oh, I'll say one of the things that impresses me the most about these is it understands the shadow on the ground, and it tracks the shadow with what's
yes!
going on. Like that to me is a really
It keeps the shading consistent too, like on the actual character.
One of these, my signature disappears. Now I hate AI. It took my signature off.
You know, Dave, this looks so fun and cool, and it was so easy to do. I feel like at the end of each stream, if there's time, depending on the subject, we should just put your drawing at the end of it in AI and show off what happened.
Maybe if I get it done fast enough, just like be like,
Yeah, depending on what we do.
This will become a new tradition. It'll piss so many people off, but it's worth it.
I mean, for a little while. I think that I was even talking about this with Liz the other day. Like the next generation of people, AI is just going to be a part of their life. They're going to assume that if there's an entertainment product, AI is one of the software tools that was used to make it. So the next generation, they're not going to be like freaking out or like upset about this stuff. It's just going to be part of the fabric of their existence, and that's going to be fine.
And I mean, we, like, as artists, we've had things stolen and traced all the time. At least, like, if AI is taking it, it's subtle and looks different. I can't tell if this stole from Dave. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
It says art.
I mean, you've literally had people creating like bootleg products that are unlicensed and stuff of Dreamkeepers, I think, haven't you?
there's all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff that's happened, like all the way down from like people that are smaller than us in the indie art scene to people that are way, way bigger than us. Even like AAA companies have done some shady stuff, where it's like, wow, I guess I should be flattered that they know of us because they clearly know of us. But like big picture, I just sort of figure, well, no one is doing exactly what we're doing because we're doing something pretty damn unique. And so I'd rather just keep on, like, unless there's something that we really have to put a stop to, I'd rather just keep on sort of focusing on creation and making something that is unique. And if there's like ripples and like things that are maybe you want to be nice and call it an homage or something, I don't know, I think that's just something to live with. You know, just create what you want to create, bring into the world what you have a creative vision for. And rather than worrying about people stealing, just try your best to get out there to the point where your audience can recognize your work and they can recognize when someone else is maybe inspired by it. And then you don't have to worry about, you know, stopping other people from expressing, I guess.
Sel, we're really glad that you didn't fall for their control tactics and fear-mongering. That you stood up for yourself and did the research, too. That's great.
And again, I do
thank you.
think, like,
Thank you.
I don't know, 10, 20 years from now, maybe faster, it's just going to be like sort of a default accepted, like, it'll be like the internet. It'll, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't, this is going to be the thing that kills AI. I can't wait for AI to die. And it's like, listen, if there's anyone that's like waiting for AI to die, AI is going to die the same way dial-up internet died. So,
Being everywhere, and then something better comes along.
yeah, and the people that are freaking out about it now, it's like if they keep on just freaking out about it, they're gonna look like the weird, like crazy, like obsolete religious
Dude.
lunatics of the future. You know, it's just gonna be bizarre. to
It's the
next
same
generation.
thing. This has happened every time technology has made like a stair-step advancement in this way. Like when the car came out, people were like, "It'll never be like a horse." Like, yeah, it's better. Everybody uses this now.
I like
It'll
that
never be like a
accent.
horse. Yeah, when what was the next thing? Like when the camera
Photos.
came out, like in
Cameras,
the time of like what's the American president who like was the Civil War guy? Lincoln. So like when Lincoln was there, like he was like, okay, so there's photographs and pictures now. People are gonna take photographs, and they're like, well, that's dumb because painters are just gonna be out of business. Like, yeah, there's still people who paint portraits now. Art completely changed. Like one of the reasons you would become an artist back in the day was because there were no cameras, and to capture moments you had to hire an artist, and people had to stand there for hours in like a pose or something, or while they sketched it, and then they would later go and paint it. Camera just everybody has a camera on their phone now. Photoshop, every time if you do AI art and somebody tells you pick up a pencil, pick it up, tell them to go mix paint, tell them to go buy canvas and mix fucking paint. You gotta be a real artist, right? You gotta do it real. You can't use the brushes and shaders and like AI tools and perspective dots and stuff like that in CSP or Photoshop. You're not a real artist, I guess, because you're using technology. You stole all that stuff because most of those people pirated that stuff anyway.
Hey, Dave, your Grok image has sounds playing. Can you mute it? They can hear a cat.
Oh, no.
God.
Hold on. I didn't realize. Thank you for telling me. I guess
I made one.
One of the animations that I had up there had like just sound continuously coming out of it. I think all of these have sound. Okay, no more animations until I learn how to mute them. Oh, there's a button.
I made one, Dave.
Okay, I figured it out. A new one. Hold
I made
on.
a really good one. You should play this one.
Actually, AI is gonna make artistic productivity drop because I'm gonna be too busy looking at AI to draw. Is it this new one just here? I'll call this one new.
New. It's new, all right.
As the files slowly multiply. That's all right. Half the point of today's stream is just to have fun with this stuff. New.
Could we change the music? Is there music?
Maybe there was music in one of the ones that was looping.
Are they talking about the AI? Like Grok always puts some sound, which
The person who traces from AI is triple gay.
There's been several times I've done one of these to make something funny for someone or something like that, and I've had to be like, okay, Grok, don't put sound.
Yeah, I'm playing this new one
sound.
you made. He says something. I can't hear what he's saying, but I'll play it again for the audience.
Uh-oh.
You have to tell us what
The
he's
person
saying.
who
What
traces
did you
from
do?
AI is triple gay.
You'll have to hear it.
I'll find out
I
tomorrow
can't,
when my
I'm muted.
social media accounts are banned. Like he was saying what? No.
Oh, wait a minute. What is this, Hazen? What does he say? I can't tell.
I don't know, but he's pointing right at the camera, and I have a feeling I just destroyed my career. Oh well, it was a good run.
We'll review later. We'll get. Oh,
Yeah,
That's
what
cute.
EMV said. Oh boy, he's pointing like a demon.
oh,
Oh no, I think the
EMV.
screen froze.
no, that's not your fault, Hazen. I have to redirect my offense.
Oh, see,
Well-
Liz, she's just looking for a reason to be furious today, but normally she's just furious by default.
It's not her fault, Dave. Okay, somebody uploaded her art into Grok.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna ruin her
I
week.
send a
Anybody
lot
would
of
go
death
from-
threats, but nobody's paying attention to me. Nobody's.
I'll
taking me
pay attention to
seriously.
your death threats, Liz. I'll take them
Thank you.
seriously.
Thank you.
If it'll make you
copyright,
feel
or-
better.
About time
Copyright strike
somebody
me.
will. That's her biggest complaint. You never take my death threats seriously. It's like, I'm sorry, honey.
I know that's my biggest complaint on Twitter. I know that you know that's my biggest complaint on Twitter. So like, I get it. I'm there for you.
So I don't know. Hopefully by now, with all of the excitement that's been going around, the social media furnace is cooling off a little bit for you now, Selenar. Like, does it seem like it's sort of peaked and they're moving on to the next outrage, or is it sort of consistent right now?
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's of course moved on to the whole tracing scandal, right?
Ooh, that must be
Yeah,
fun to
yeah.
watch.
So it is. It's better to, while I am involved, because it was my piece. It's better to be off on the sidelines and maybe consulted and informed rather than to be directly responsible.
Yeah.
Oh, Mammo sent life threats.
Life threat. Oh, that's a twist. I'm gonna make you have so much fun and such a delightful time.
Then it'll kill you.
Oh no, then it comes back around to being a death threat again.
Life threats is what you send like undead people from Divinity Original Sin to. I'm gonna cast my ultimate healing spell on you. There's my joke for the stream. I do a joke every stream that no one gets. There it is.
Round of applause.
So unappreciated.
Yeah, if it's a video game joke, I'm gonna be like probably the last person on God's earth to get it.
What game is that? D&D or whatever is that?
Divinity Original Sin 2.
Something obscure.
Very
and crazy.
popular Larian Studios game. They did the Baldur's Gate 3. It's the same studio that did that. They did a game before that called of their own. I don't know if it's Divinity's their own IP or not, but they certainly do a good job with like their D&D style sort of online RPG game of it.
Yeah, I definitely played
So-
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, if you like Baldur's Gate 3, go check out Divinity Original Sin 2. It's on Steam. It's great. You can use mods. Don't use mods at the beginning, but it's a lot like D&D, but it's built to be a video game, and it's just really, really good.
Nice. I have not finished Baldur's Gate 3 yet. Have 140 hours in because it's side quest city for me.
What have you been doing?
Well, apparently
Winning.
side questing or researching terms of service.
Oh,
It'd be
The
fun.
one guy who actually read through the entire TOS. Yeah, that was one thing I was like when before the tracing thing came out and the crowd kind of turned, like everybody was like, actually, the TOS states that you don't own this, and there's legal precedents that say that you don't own this unless it's worth. I'm like, do you guys want art to become like EA Games EULAs? Is that what you really want? That's what you're telling the world you want when you say stuff like that.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
what
just
you
cra-
want?
That's crazy, right? I mean,
God.
just an informal straw, poll. People when they spend money for a product, they assume, rightfully so, I believe, that they own it,
Mhm.
and that they should not have to worry about, oh, am I using it in the right way? It's their
By
product. They
putting it
can
in
use
AI.
it whatever way they want. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, like absent, like I do think if there's going to be artists that want specific usage policies attached to their commissions, the only way to really get everyone on the same page is to make sure that people sign a contract and, read the contract first. But at that point too, like it's up to the artist. But I feel like if they make
Even that
people,
doesn't work sometimes, Dave.
well, yeah, the people signed a contract in our case that I could share the content forever. And then when I just shared the content, they sued us in federal court and took 2 years for the judge to figure that one out. But that said, like, I don't know. I feel like if artists run around forcing their customers to sign like 37-page contracts in fine print, I feel like a lot of customers, like if you want to drive customers to using AI faster, that's how to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And that was my point too, is that when they were saying, oh, we're going to put you, all these artists were like, we're going to put you on this art block list. I'm like, well, so what? I'm just going to use AI faster, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's already AI models out there that are trained on all the popular artists, Zouge, Mish, Sigma. I mean, all these artists, and I'm just like, maybe I'll just put Moth Dusky in and just make all the art of her in her style. And I guess somebody has actually trained a model on her stuff now, so now she's out there too.
Well,
So-
surprise,
There's
it's not
better
hers,
stuff.
it's
There's better
AI's.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
trained
right.
on
That's
AI.
right. Yeah.
There's better
Yeah.
stuff. Don't worry about that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something I was like agreeing with when I think I saw you say this and people were like, oh, he's an AI bro. And I'm just like,
Yep.
dude, like this guy, like he did something with his commission and that has sparked a discussion over, do people really want like art you get from an individual artist to have a fucking license agreement attached to it? Or do you just want it to be yours like everybody expects it to be anyway? There's probably, if they're not showing you their TOS and they have it like tucked away on the site somewhere, there's probably a reason for that. But like, do you want it to be like that? Or do you want it to be the way everybody already kind of thinks it is and should be? A lot of people said the latter and said, okay, every one of you is voting for more people to start using AI. Because if you transform the furry art scene into an EUA agreement, like agreement ridden minefield nightmare, people are just going to say, fuck this, I'm not doing this. This AI shit looks good. It's easy to use, apparently, everybody says. I'm just going to go find a thing. And by the time that happens, it's probably going to be easier to use than it is now anyway. So that's just the way things are going to be. Like, you are destroying your own market. You are tearing it down.
Yep.
To spite one guy who put an image he bought had like made for him into Grok for like a 6-second clip. Please calm down.
Dave, could you zoom? Memo wants you to zoom in on V so he can get those hips shaking.
Oh,
It seems to think it's,
Zoom in, Dave. I'm close.
Yeah, there you go. It seems to think that the goggles are her eyes, and that's going to take a little bit of work. But if you can give him,
I don't know if this is the pose you want for this memo.
that's the one advantage I have over AI is that I'm like, I know that those goggles are supposed to be goggles. That's why I never have to worry about it. But seriously, like, I think the more specific and involved a project you're making, like, right, we're making a very detailed graphic novel series with a specific plot. So it's like, if AI could replace this, then that means it would be a great tool and I could just make this happen faster. But the fact is, it's not there yet. But for artists, especially artists that are just doing like casual pinups for commissions and that's their whole thing, it's like you are sort of in a situation where, yeah, AI is competing for exactly that capability. So you should be focusing on what can you bring to the table for people. How can you should be focusing on making hiring you be even more attractive, not less attractive. You shouldn't be like, oh, so you were hiring me before? Well, now what if it becomes a massive liability for you to hire me? Would that be cooler? Would I get more business that way? No. You don't. You're piling things onto yourself that make you less desirable than you were before. You don't want to do that in this environment.
Do you remember, Dave? And maybe it was even I said this again a couple weeks ago on stream. We were talking about why are people so mad? Why are people so scared of AI stuff? And I started talking about how I think that art for a lot of people is not a passion. I don't think a lot of people who do art now actually enjoy doing art or enjoy creating things or have things they want to create. I think a lot of people are unliked in real life and have very little control over their own lives in real life. And art is a way to sort of like make people like them and put reins on them and sick audiences on people and stuff like that. I think it's possible. I'm not saying this is what's going on. I think it's possible we're seeing a case of that right now. I think that we may be seeing a case of someone who they obviously don't enjoy doing art if they're tracing stuff for commissions, which is unthinkable. But like,
Takes all the fun out.
We may be seeing a case of someone who they had this and they tried to use someone using this thing as like a means of like, well, now I get to sick my audience on you, and it backfired on them, and that might be why they're going ballistic right now. And I think you're going to see more of this because, like, if somebody enjoyed doing art and they want to do it for money, why wouldn't they just swallow that and just be like, you know what? People don't like this. I want to continue being able to do art for a living. So I'm just going to just say, I don't like when you do this stuff, but whatever. I don't want it to become a thing between me and my customers. Instead, they're bragging about how many customers they've got while also hearing from people that they want refunds and they're canceling commissions. That doesn't seem to add up to me, but maybe that is what's happening. But that doesn't, whether it's happening or not, that definitely doesn't sound to me like someone who loves doing art and loves creating things. That sounds like somebody to me who has found art to be a wonderful tool to get like control over other people and build like a little personal army for themselves of people who just kiss their ass.
Yeah, and like, I don't want to undercut how important it is to have, like, some social media presence and growth and revenue for a business and all that stuff. Like, all that stuff is necessary, but to my way of thinking,
absolutely,
yeah. But to me, it's like, well, that's all a means to an end. Do I really care about that stuff? No, that's just what needs to happen for a business to exist, to enable me to create and to draw. Like, the thing that I want to do is to draw and make things. I mean, even if AI was so good that I was like, oh, I can make exactly what I want with using AI, and I don't have to draw at all. I mean, I would probably generate a lot more of our content faster, but I would still, in my spare time for fun, I would still draw. I like to draw. I like the feeling of putting my hands on paper and watching something come out. You know, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, you love the process. You love actually like putting pen to paper, putting pen to screen, and creating things. I don't think, sadly, I don't think that's the case for a lot of artists. I think a lot of these artists are nuts and they enjoy like mistreating customers and stuff. I actually like subscribed to someone's Patreon years ago who drew like a fan Sonic comic, and I'm not really even into Sonic, but I read the comic and I was like, this is pretty good. They posted all this or most of it on Twitter. I should probably just like, give them $5 on Patreon or something. And they had like a $5 reward, and it said something about like you'll get this comic and this other stuff at this level. So I subscribed and I couldn't find the comic, and I messaged them and I'm like, hey, I paid $5 and here's the screenshot of this thing with highlighted, like, because I really want to make it like, this is what I'm talking about. And I'm like, this says it'll get the comic and stuff. And she's like, that's old. The thing I'm doing now is not a comic, and I've never said it was.
Whoa.
And I'm like, okay, bitch, but your fucking Patreon says that it fucking is. So can I have that? What did you throw it away? Like, can you just send me this? And then they just blocked me on Patreon and blocked me on Twitter and never talked to me again.
Oof.
Yeah.
People are way too liberal with the block button.
People don't enjoy doing things anymore. It seems like 90% of people that I run into who have like a little bit of a shitty attitude, they're like really defensive and like territorial about the things they create. It's art is a tool for them to achieve some kind of weird like social thing.
Yeah.
It's not, they don't even like doing it. If music could do what they get from art, they would be doing music.
I do think for a lot of people, maybe it just looks that way because the sample size I'm looking at is social media. But I think for a lot of people, art to them is a tool to gain attention. Whereas again, for us, it's like we do need to grow on social media. We need to get attention. But to me, attention is a tool that helps me make more art. So it's weird because superficially you will look and you will see people doing what looks like exactly the same type of thing, but they might be doing it for diametrically opposite reasons. And especially over time, I think that begins to tell in terms of like the decisions and how they conduct themselves.
That stuff always comes out. Yeah. Like, I kind of felt that way right away when the hostility was so apparent once Selenar uploaded his thing to Grok, and it just immediate, this is war, DEFCON 5, and then like, I was like, that seems like a person who just kind of, they do art because they just want like status and control or something. They think that's an easy way to do that with the furry community. And to their credit, it is. I at least respect that hustle. If that's what you're after, do art. But they, I never would have imagined they were tracing pictures. They didn't even draw some of them generated by AI. You had to know too. Come on, that picture that they superimposed your thing over, they had to know that was AI. That's so very clearly like the overproduced like 8K. Look, you can see every hair on his fur, like his body fur and stuff, like stuff you shouldn't even be seeing on art. Like it's like it's exactly that. It's so obvious that it's AI.
Off topic, but man, we really gave ourselves a fun chore with these kill gears in the comic. They have I gotta get a better swatch sheet. They have so much detail.
Oh yeah, they like appeared in the comic yet at all? I don't remember. I think I like have some. I like a Bearstein Bears moment with Volume 5. Like the stuff I've seen on you work like posting and stuff on Twitter. Like I don't remember a lot of that stuff from when I read Volume 5.
Yeah, they haven't appeared in Volume 5. They're going to appear in Volume 6, which is what we're working on now. I'm always so dumb. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna make this thing look really cool and detailed. And there's part of my brain that's like, but don't you have to draw that like dozens and dozens and dozens of times? And then the part of me that is like, it's cool. Shut up. You don't matter. And then here I am, and I'm like, I should have listened to myself. But It has to be like this. Plus, like the design makes sense. I have to have it sort of work with the physics of the universe and everything.
There was a dance. I don't know. I haven't seen. I'm not looking at like the links in chat. Somebody in chat said, I don't know if it goes off topic. The Outsider said, I don't know if it goes off topic, but I recently had neglect myself to do. Hold on. Oh my God. To do a thing to promote my own stuff, like follow the trends or do something stupid to get attention. Simply post the stuff I make for commissions so far. Okay, I'm either misreading that or I'm not. Are you saying that you tried to do stuff to get like more attention on you? Or you kind of stopped doing that and started going back to like what you actually want to do? Because I'll say either way, like that's still a great way to get more eyes on what you're doing. I'm not shitting on people who draw, like Dave draws fan art and stuff.
Sure.
They have, for God's sake, the Patreon has like a vote thing. You can vote on who you want him to draw fan art of that month. But like, I'm not shitting on people who use art to get attention. I'm shitting on people a little bit who that's their only motivation to do art. Like they're completely motivated by attention and like power over people who can't do what they do, instead of like just like, well, it's a necessary evil for me to sometimes have to draw things I'm not really into or something, just so that like I can get more eyes on this thing I'm doing, because the ultimate goal is this creation I've made. I really want a lot of people to see or read this thing that I did, because I think it's really good and I want to share it with them. And I can't share it with people if they don't know it exists. So I have to get like eyes on my shit, and to get eyes on my shit, I have to get eyes on me. So that's a very viable that's like 101 right now for trying to like market, like especially anthro art or anime stuff. Man. If you're drawing that shit, that's how you do it.
Liz is showing me some, like she's looking at some animations of that Mr. Pebbles' character got, and like that V, like this drawing of V already has an animation with like the hip swinging. I'm sorry, like I don't know where Liz
Mr.
is.
Pebbles.
Yeah, like he got commissions of Miss Karen as one of our side characters in the series.
Oh yeah, he loves those teacher girls.
Yeah, are they putting links to that in the chat in Picardo? Because like, that's where I'm getting them. Okay, good. Yeah, if you guys are if you're listening and you're not in Picardo, check out the Picardo chat. There's links. There are more cool animations coming to life faster than I can even look at them. It's just, I don't know. There's something cool about that, and. Also, for anyone that's like, but AI is like, it's gonna destroy the oceans, and there's probably actual valid concerns about energy use and all kinds of stuff. But I would say like, the reality is, right, again, it's like the internet. If it's just too useful, then it's here to stay. This is the way it's gonna be. You can get mad at it and throw a tantrum and put your blood pressure through the roof, or you can just accept that the world is going to change in ways that you didn't decide, and it's not up to you. You just got to roll with it. And I think, at least for me, I'd always just prefer to be like, well, because right, we've gone through some very, very horrible things in life, and so I guess I've learned that I don't get to decide how things go. I just gotta like roll with it the best I can. And if you can learn to do that when things are tough, then I think it makes it easier to just deal with things that maybe are not exactly the way you would have preferred them to be.
That argument that use of AI is boiling the oceans. That argument was like the same for cryptocurrency too, right? When Bitcoin started to gain a lot of traction, they're like, mining Bitcoin is going to boil the oceans. Literally, like the same exact arguments. I'm like, okay, we've seen this playbook before.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, weird. It's almost like someone had an agenda that they didn't want you to use cryptocurrency so they could still control what you buy.
Yeah, there's a lot of, believe it or not, financial interests that might not like the idea of a decentralized financial system where there's not necessarily one group of people in charge. It's like, people that are in charge of like the central banking systems and stuff, their position gives them a lot of power. And lo and behold, if central control goes away because there's decentralized financial systems, they might have an incentive to persuade people away from that. So like,
that's so crazy. Yeah.
Now I'm not an expert in any of these arguments, so there might be some valid arguments in there. I don't know. But even if there are, I think the reality is just simply that if technology is going to go forward and it increases humanity's need for energy consumption, then we just need to, continue solving those problems by increasing our energy capacity, whether it's like nuclear or green energy or whatever. But technologies are emerging pretty fast, so I think we just need to accept that humanity is going to have to advance, and maybe some of this technology can even help us advance more efficiently and intelligently than we could before. Not that AI always makes things smoother. I've heard some nightmare stories where companies are like, yeah, we fired all our staff because we were like, AI can replace them. And then like 9 months later, they're like, we hired everyone back. AI is not replacing them.
I'd make them double my salary if they did that shit to me.
Yeah. But no joke, like some companies are like, oh, actually, like we were getting all these like documents and briefs and summaries, and you look over it, it looks totally fine, it looks good on the surface, it looks like, yeah, this is what I get from my subordinates, we're good to go. But then it all just kind of falls apart, because when you really look at these summaries or even programming and stuff, it's like, oh, it basically looks like everything is kind of where it's supposed to be, but when you really dig into the details, it's like it doesn't really make sense, it doesn't really connect the way it's supposed to. And suddenly untangling all of that work becomes more work than it would have been to just like do it right the first time.
Yeah, it's not there yet, guys. If you're a big studio exec at WB listening to this, God knows why, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't use AI to replace people yet, but you will be able to, probably within a year or two. I still probably would not replace those people, because I don't think even in a year or two the AI will be flawless, or that it will know how you have to talk to an AI is different. Even if there's an LLM attached to it, the way Grok is, how you have to talk to an AI to tell it what you want is different from how you have to talk to a person. And even when you talk to a person, it can be difficult sometimes to communicate. I do music stuff. For those of you who don't know, and a lot of the time when somebody's like, I want music, and it's like, okay, well, what do you want? Cool music. I want cool music from my OC. I want him to have a cool theme song. Okay, well, if I just stopped there and was like, got it, I'm making something cool, my idea of what's cool might not be what that guy's idea of what's cool is. And if you do commissions and arts and stuff like that, you have to like drag that out of people, for better or worse. You have to kind of be like, all right, so what's a song you think is cool? Is there a song you heard before that might be close, something that you might want it to be kind of close to? You kind of have to whittle things down, like the David. You have to kind of like get it down to where it's like, okay, so this guy with a fig leaf over his balls, that's what you want. Okay, got it, I'll make something like that. And then even then, when you turn it in, sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, this is good, but like I kind of want this thing to be a little bit different or something like that. It's no problem, but you do have to communicate. You can't do that shit with AI. And I don't think in 1 or 2 years you'll be able to do that either. Like it's going to be a while before it can communicate with you, so where you can kind of like synchronize what's in your head that you want out into reality with one of these machine learning things. So if you're in a $1 gazillion industry thing, if you have like a studio and if California and LA, and you're filming out in Van Nuys and stuff like that, don't jump headfirst into this shit yet, especially if you don't hire somebody who knows what they're doing with it, because it's not there.
I think too, there's even going to be, just like the camera, right, changed the world of painting forever, because just different, like painting still exists, but now the purpose for it is kind of different. I think that AI is going to change how a lot of things happen, but there's going to be a shuffle where humanity still really matters, because at the core, even with entertainment, people are sort of using entertainment as a way to resonate with like humanity and like share things and share experiences with other people or understand other people. So even if AI gets to the point where it's like, oh, you push button, movie come out, like that might be fine for a certain type of content, a certain type of entertainment, maybe. But I think that even if that was the case, I think it would give rise to a lot more of an interest in people being like, oh, this movie has real human actors. Oh yeah, I want to watch this movie that has real human actors. Like, for example, if I was in the market for like watching like an amazing kung fu movie with like real people doing like these incredible stunts, if there's an totally AI generated kung fu movie, it's sort of like, well, why am I watching this? Because this is not what people can do. Or even if it is, like, that's not people doing something. It's just like, it's basically like really good computer animation. It's not real. But so to a degree, some of the appeal of entertainment might be like, some of it could be totally fantasy, and then some of it might have appeal because it is real humans, and that is the appeal. Like if I'm watching a kung fu movie again, if I know like real people really choreographed that and physically performed it, and like we're able to like then film it and get it on screen, like that's actually kind of cool. It's like watching something that people did. And that's going to become, there's going to be a distinction between that type of entertainment and like non-human entertainment in the future. And that doesn't mean that like one is good and one is bad. It just means like, well, they're going to kind of scratch different itches. You know, there's going to become a distinguishing difference between them.
I think there will be. Yeah, they talk about this a little bit in some of the Shadowrun books. They're talking about how like music production became this thing where you could literally just like plug a thing into your brain, and it could just, like, any music you think of, it could just produce. And there was still a distinction and like a separate market for music that was created with like actual instruments. I mean, that's the case almost today. Like there are AIs that can produce really good music stuff, and it just mainly produces like catchy pop crap, but it can produce like other stuff too, and it is really good at it. And there, if you don't want to do that and you want to go one step down, there are virtual instruments that sound indistinguishable from real stuff. And then there's like the real stuff. Like it's very hard to get to work with a guitar plugin because the guitar is such an expressive instrument. But it's very hard to get a guitar plugin to sound like you're actually playing guitar. You have to really go in there and do a whole bunch of shit with it. And even then, sometimes it doesn't always do exactly what you want. So there's still, even with all this stuff, there is nothing like someone actually sitting down and just like playing a guitar and recording it or playing it live. So there's still, look, if you're an artist and you're worried about, I've said this on stream before, if you're an artist and you're worried about
Well, that's actually leads me to a point I always think about whenever I see artists like trying to scream and be like, AI, tear it down, never use it, never touch it. I was like, I just think, do you understand? This is exactly what Disney wants you to be saying. This is exactly what Warner Brothers wants you to be saying. These huge corporations, they absolutely will be using this technology, and they can't hear us.
but they can't hear anybody else. Oh, wait, it's fixed now? Can you guys hear us?
Oh, what? I got it now. I put one of these animations on, and I was clever, so I muted the audio of the animation, except I
Oh no.
except I muted the PC audio instead of the animation. Sorry, guys.
How long have we been muted?
Probably like 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Well, I haven't said anything cool, so whatever.
You did. You guys all missed out. Sorry, I'm the only one that knows. But seriously, like Disney and Warner Brothers and these big businesses, they absolutely want all of these little artists out there. They don't want you using AI because they do not want you to have the capacity to compete with them, because technology is getting it to the point where anyone could. Like, see, that's where it's going ultimately, is it's going to a point where anybody has the ability to create content at the same level of sophistication and appeal as like Disney. And so I think Disney is like quaking in their boots that they might have actual creative, like innovative, interesting competition. And so what they want to do is make sure that artists don't want to compete with Disney. They make sure that artists don't want to use those tools. I mean, I'm not saying that tinfoil hat time, like Disney is telling people to say that. That's not necessarily what I'm saying, but I am observing. Oh, this is the same side, but I am observing like that's what they would want. They would want to make sure that you, a nobody artist who doesn't have $300 million to produce a movie, they want to make sure that you can't produce a movie for $30,000, even if maybe you could, but they don't want someone that's maybe more talented than them and has a little more creative insight, and maybe you can write a story that's not like focus tested and like down to being like a totally bland, like uninteresting, uninspiring slop. That they don't want you to compete with them. They don't want it. Like, these corporations do not want competition, and to me, that is what AI technology is headed towards. It's headed towards a place where any artist might have the ability to compete directly with like the biggest entertainment corporations on earth. And I like that because I think that the more cool stuff, it's better for customers. Customers will have more cool options to choose from. And I think it's better for artists because it takes away a lot of power from these gatekeepers.
Correct, Dave.
So it's weird too. Like, I'm not trying to be like Mr. Big AI advocate. Like, I'm not necessarily even pushing to say people should use. It's weird because like so far I don't use it. I'm not like ideologically against it. It's just it's not useful to me yet at all. Like, it doesn't really fit into any part of my workflow. But it's just weird that I'm probably doing more pencil and paper artwork than like every furry artist combined on Earth right now. That's possibly literal. But at the same time, I'm not afraid of AI. So.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people. Like, people like you, people like Jay Naylor, people like Reagan, people who are creating stories with their art. It's like, this is the story I want to tell. Even if an AI could take that art and those characters and tell a story, it still wouldn't be, unless the artist themselves is using the AI to tell the story, it wouldn't be the same story. Like, if somebody else took all the Dreamkeepers loras, there's 100 of them on Civet AI now. If somebody took all the Dreamkeepers loras and made their own Dreamkeepers comic, it would be a cool comic with Dreamkeepers characters in it, but it wouldn't be a Dreamkeepers comic. AI can't take away your ability to create things, and if you're creating things that people want to see, they're going to want to see more stuff that you created. Probably eventually, whether you're using these tools or not. So if you're worried about being replaced by AI, you probably aren't making anything that interesting anyway. That's the way I kind of look at it. And if you are making things that are interesting and you are telling stories, you should probably stop worrying, because it's not going to be able to replace that. People still want to see the stories that you have to tell. If 1,000,000 people, if 1,000 people are reading stuff that you wrote and like reading comics and they're interested in the characters, they want to see what you're going to create with these characters next. They're, if somebody creates fan art, they'll probably like that too. Holy shit, 2 cakes, But they definitely want the David Lilly cake. They definitely want the Reagan Lodge cake. They definitely want the Jay Naylor cake. They want that stuff to be there too, more than probably anything else. Until you piss them off.
Okay. Well, if Selenar is still in the room, I saw him.
I am. I'm still here.
He's just been rambling again. He always does that. We're at time, but yeah, okay. Sound horn. Anyway, we're at time, but we'd love to see you at Megaplex. We're the table with the TV in the dealer den.
Very cool. I will look for you guys.
Did you see their booth? Did you see their table?
I'm sure I did. But this was my first Megaplex, so Did
you see a little guy in a red hat, a red fedora?
I don't remember, but I was just taking everything in, right?
Yeah.
Because it was my first time at Megaplex, so but I plan to be there next year, so I'll definitely look for you all.
Sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it was great having you.
Yeah,
on.
I love Megaplex.
Since we're kind
Never banned.
Since we're kind of at the end of time, was there any other stuff you wanted to get out? Any more like parts of your story or like observations? Like, where does Selenar go from here?
So I just want to say thanks, shout out to all the people that were supportive of me and checking in with me on after all the death threats and everything. Hey, how you doing? small little gestures, but I really appreciate that type of support. So thank you to all those people, and thanks to you all for letting me come on and kind of give the lay of the land as from my perspective, because a lot of time people make judgments and they make assumptions and they never ask for the true story. And so I believe what I shared was the true story, from at least from my perspective. So thank you for that.
Yeah, sure.
You're very welcome. Thank you. That was very eye-opening. I'm so impressed with how much research you did.
At least one side did some.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully going forward, there's peace in the valley and everyone can have fun with their art, and hopefully nobody gets sued. But if it does happen, then I guess you'll have to cross that bridge when you get to it. But hopefully you don't get to it. And the fact that the art was arguably not original to begin with might actually help shut that down pretty fast if it does go there.
Yeah. If
yeah.
anything, if anything additional happens, contact us and let us know if there are any updates. If anything were to go into discovery, you wouldn't want to be on stream talking about a lawsuit.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
But right now you're fine.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And thanks Dave for the art. I love it.
Yeah, sure. I think a JPEG should be in there. And again, you can. I think I will let you use it with AI if you want.
Just did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been great. Well, you guys have a good weekend.
You too.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for
Bye-bye.
watching. And that is our Friday stream. So we'll be back Monday to stream some more.
Yay!
Woo! All right.
Oh, I thought they'd overlap.
Close, but no cigar. Stream ends in 5, 4, 3, 2.
The person